I want to encourage you to fully embrace the concept of slowing down to speed up. Because when you slow down and you allow all of the thoughts that you have in your mind, all of the different ideas, all of the things that have been floating to just percolate in a way where you're not fully focused on it, awesomeness happens. Welcome to the Career Changemaker podcast, where we focus on owning your career journey and making impact through the work that you do. Whether you're looking to pivot, transition into leadership, or reimagine your career completely, this podcast is for you. We'll unpack career development strategies, leadership insights, and the mindset shifts needed to thrive in your career. Being a career changemaker means taking control and shaping your professional path with intention. I'm your host, lawyer turned career and leadership development specialist, Janine Esbrand. So if you're ready for candid conversations that are going to help you grow, keep listening. What if the secret to your next career breakthrough wasn't working harder, but instead slowing down? In today's episode, I want to talk to you about a super powerful productivity tool, the pause. There is power in the pause, especially if you are busy and you're juggling lots of different demands in your life and your career or your business. Pausing can bring about way more progress than you're probably giving it credit for. So let's talk about it. And I want to start by sharing a bit of a story with you. Earlier this week, I had a call from one of my clients. She had been applying for senior leadership positions for a number of months and kept getting to the final stages and then was being told that they hired someone else. So she was getting frustrated by that, decided to reach out to me, and we did some work to fully prepare her for the next opportunity that was on the table. And when I tell you, her CV, her background, her experience was 100% aligned to what this organization was looking for. So if she was to go in and just be herself and share what she could bring to the table and the value she could add, it would be a no-brainer to hire her. After she had the interview, she reached out to me and told me that it didn't go as well as she would have hoped, and ultimately she didn't get the opportunity. She was bummed about it, she was disappointed, and she was feeling like she wasn't quite sure. When we did the debrief, we decided that her going out and applying for another role was not what we needed to be doing. What we needed to be doing is really pausing, because at this point, I knew that if she'd been applying for roles and getting to the final round, if we had worked together and fully prepped and was able to tease out how wonderful she was and how good of a fit she was, and she still wasn't securing that offer, there was something else going on beneath the surface. And so we did some work around mindset and her belief system and how she was really showing up in these conversations. And then she kind of disappeared on me. 2 months later, her update was that she took the time to step back and to pause. During that pause, she went inward and she asked herself some difficult questions, did what was required of her to really face herself and be honest, completely honest with herself around what was going on and what was really holding her back, and unearthed some limiting beliefs, and was able to connect the dots between some of the things we'd worked on in our sessions together and what she was experiencing now. When she paused and stopped pushing and really obsessing about this next opportunity, doors started to open. People started to reach out to her. An awesome opportunity fell in her lap. And ultimately, her update was that she's found a new role and handed in her notice. And this role is more senior and she's super excited about it. She's going to be better off financially. The whole shebang happened in the last few months after she stopped pushing. It happened during the pause. I'm noticing more and more for myself and also for my clients that there is immense power in the pause, and we don't always recognize it or even try it to see whether it can work for us. I want to encourage you to fully embrace the concept of slowing down to speed up, because when you slow down and you allow all of the thoughts that you have in your mind, all of the different ideas, all of the things that have been floating to just percolate in a way where you're not fully focused on it, awesomeness happens. You're going to become someone who's able to really lean into listening to yourself, to allowing your thoughts to have space to really form. Because often we're running around and jumping from thought to thought, and we're thinking through so many different things that the thoughts that we're having are just half formed. They're half formed thoughts that are interrupted, right? It's like, oh, I'm doing this thing and I'm thinking about this thing, and then someone asks me a question and I'm going over here to do that. And then I get an email and I'm going over there to do that. It's like, give yourself the opportunity to just think and to allow your brainstorming to happen and decision making to happen, like actually making decisions rather than half baked decisions that you keep circling back on. Sometimes we waste a lot of not only time but energy because we're not finishing. We're not finishing the thought. We're not finishing the plan. We're not finishing the conversation. We're not finishing the perspective because we are moving too fast. In the slowdown periods, you will find that your priorities become clearer when you're not rushing around, that your plans can become looser and more adaptable, that you can stop being so tied to the outcomes and start focusing on alignment. When it comes to slowing down and embracing slowing down, it can come in various forms. So back in June this year, I went on a girls' trip to Cyprus with 5 of my friends, and it was amazing. It was an amazing trip. It was just what I needed. I didn't realize how much I needed this type of trip. Yes, we had booked it the year prior, and I wanted to go to Cyprus and I wanted to be around my friends and I wanted to experience the sunshine. And I did all of that. But what came out of the trip that I hadn't fully appreciated would happen or anticipated were some real lessons that we can apply when it comes to leadership and it comes to how we are showing up in our day to day and in the work that we do. There was so much unexpected clarity that came from putting myself in a different environment and just allowing things to percolate and not forcing myself to come up with answers within a specific time frame. There's 3 things that I took away at the end of this trip when I was reflecting on why it was so impactful for me and how it's going to be helpful going forward. The first is who you surround yourself with matters. Energy and mindset are contagious. So when you think about your circles and who are currently in them, are you surrounding yourself with people who are energizing, who are inspiring, who are on the same page as you? Or are you surrounding yourself with people who are sapping your energy and who are in a total different mind frame to where you are? Because if you are moving in a direction and you are on a trajectory, you absolutely want to be surrounded by people who are on the same page. Not only are they going to inspire you, give you ideas, but that you can feed off their energy. So in the moments where you're feeling like, can I really do this? Is this really going to happen? You want people around you who have either done something similar or can see the capacity that you have and can encourage you and can be your cheerleader. You don't want negative Nancy's. You don't want people around you who require you to be feeding into them all the time and supporting them all the time, so much so that you're not getting support yourself. So who you surround yourself with absolutely matters. And I think a combination of, me turning 40 last year and having this injury experience has really got me thinking about how am I curating the spaces that I'm in and the networks that I am frequenting and the relationships that I'm building. The second takeaway that I got was fun. Fun unlocks creativity. I don't think we have enough fun, or at least I don't. When I think about how often I am actually belly laughing or doing something that I really, really enjoy, it doesn't happen as often as I would like. So when I was away and we were just catching up as girls and messing about in the pool, going out and doing all the things, I was like, I miss this. I haven't been doing this. And obviously it's partly because I've been indoors and not been able to do much over the last few months. But I think having that fun and just feeling free and feeling like I can just let loose a little bit really did play into creativity. Ideas came, things that I've been thinking about doing for a while. The motivation to do them came back when I got back. So give yourself permission to have more fun. I think as adults we can lose that desire to have fun, and we get very serious, and the higher you climb the ranks within your organization or your career, you can feel like, I need to focus on the work, I need to focus on doing this and that. But give yourself the permission to do the things that you want to do. The benefit of being an adult is that we get to choose, right? You don't have someone else telling you what you have to do when, in the same way as you do when you're a child. But sometimes we're not even making the choices that we could make as adults. We're creating lives and structures for ourselves that are more of a burden than they need to be. So have more fun and see how that supports your goals as a leader. And then the last thing that I took away was the power and impact of changing your environment. It can unlock a different level of focus. There's something about being near the sea for me that really makes my brain shift, and it opens things up. It could be different for you, but unlocking a difference in environment is so powerful. And that difference in environment doesn't need to come by you jumping on a plane and going somewhere else. It could be as simple as changing the room that you're working from, or maybe instead of working from home, you go and work from a coffee shop, or if you're used to working in one particular office, maybe you try out working somewhere else in a building. Just changing the perspective in terms of where you're sitting and the desk that you're at and the way that your work setup is can make shifts in your brain and allow you to think differently about a situation. Maybe you're trying to problem solve around something and you're stuck. Move your body, move your positioning, and allow yourself to make it take advantage of that. One of the things that works for me when I am feeling like something isn't coming together, whether that is a talk that I am preparing for or a presentation, I trust that it will come together. And oftentimes it will come together in my mind when I'm in the shower. If I've been working on it and I have all the pieces of the puzzle and I just feel like it's not flowing well, or I'm trying to think, okay, what is my opening story, or what am I going to be saying first, second, or third, and it feels off, instead of forcing myself to sit in front of my laptop or my notepad and figure it out, I will change my position and I will go about my day. And when I'm next in the shower, in those moments, often I'll be like, that's it, I've got it. And part of being able to do that is trusting yourself and paying attention to the patterns that apply to you. So I know that this is going to happen because it's happened time and time again for me. So I can trust that. So what is it for you when you think about what you need to do to get your optimal output? What does that actually look like? So often we can be looking to what people say you should do. And, there's lots of advice and there's lots of blogs and podcasts and guidance on, productivity hacks. Like, you need to do this in order for you to get things done. And there is a time and place for all of those things, and often can be very valid, very helpful. But don't just lean into those without the element where you're paying attention to you and how you work best, and what works best for you, what works best for you, when it works best for you. And because that is what can help you to make progress a lot quicker. So as we're moving into the month of August, and this is typically a month that is slow down for a lot of people. It's a month where people are going away, where people are, taking advantage of the summer holidays. Really embrace the power of the pause. Embrace it. You can have those micro pauses on a daily basis where you're like, okay, I'm just going to go out for a walk, or I'm going to take some time away from my desk to go and do something that I enjoy. You can have those mini pauses. So on a weekly basis, you take a day out where you're not thinking about work in any way, shape, or form. For me, that is my Sabbath. I take a day every single week on a Saturday where I am not focused on work, and I focus on family. I focus on worship. I focus on my relationship with God. Like, that's the focus. That is a mini pause on a weekly cadence for me. And also macro pauses. So maybe you decide on a quarterly basis you're going to do some kind of retreat, whether that is you just going to spend a day at a hotel or a spa, or you're going to connect with a friend or spend a day doing something fun, whatever that is, just taking a step away. In our current modern day society where it's so easy for everything and everyone to be on all of the time, we have to recognize that we are not machines. Our bodies are not created for us to be just going, going, going. And actually, we need to incorporate rest, and as you do that, you will see that rest is a productivity tool. Rest isn't something to run away from or feel like you don't need much of. Rest is something that if you leverage it and you leverage it well, it can help to accelerate your performance. It can help you to do better and achieve the goals that you have far quicker. So that is my encouragement to you. Embrace the power in the pause. The more and more that I am doing it and the more I'm seeing clients embrace it, the more I'm like, hey, I should have been doing this before. What have we been doing? So really rethinking the way that we are doing things is absolutely game changing if you allow it. Now, if you are interested in getting some support with how you are navigating your career right now, and if you are in leadership and you want to improve your strategy, if you want to figure out how you can incorporate these pauses, if you want to have more structure so that you're showing up in a way where you are creating impact but you're not burning yourself out in the process, book a call with me. Coaching spots are opening for September. I am looking for a small number of new and emerging leaders to work with in September. And that could absolutely be you. So let's have a conversation and see whether working together could be a good fit. Go and check the link on the show notes, and I hope to speak to you on a fitting call. That's all from me today. I'll be back very, very soon. Until next time, look after yourself and keep moving towards your career.